Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Universal's newest release of Halloween Ends. But before we do that, if you guys are into 4K reviews, movie reviews, some tech, and some video game stuff along the way, then please consider subscribing because we do all that here. I want to start by saying I absolutely love the Halloween franchise. However, Halloween Ends. Not great. Not great at all. Bit of a disappointment, actually a pretty big disappointment for me. And if you've watched all our videos before, I tend to be pretty high on stuff where John is the negative Nancy and he doesn't like a good movie. He likes all those dialogue heavy stuff, the Criterion Collection, where I'm the horror guy. I like the action movies. You know, you have a basic plot and just some explosions and
cool guys don't look at explosions. Flames are hot, but their heart is chill.
Some killing and just a decent made movie. I'm in. I don't know what they did with I don't know what happened here. I'm sorry. You know, I love Halloween Resurrection. I fucking love that movie.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Most people don't. So this one, directed by David Gordon Green, who did Halloween 2018. Awesome, amazing movie. Halloween Kills. Arguably, debatably better than the first in my opinion. I really liked Halloween Kills a lot. And some people didn't. Some people said it was a bit of a departure from 2018. And I didn't really see that. I thought those two meshed pretty well together. But this one, I don't know how it's the same team. You know, Danny McBride was a big part of these movies, and I don't really see him too much in this one because he was like the comedic relief and stuff. He wasn't in the movies, but he was part of the writing staff.
Fuck
Something about this one, probably the fact that, you know, it's almost 2 hours long. We don't see Michael for the first 40 minutes. He's barely in the movie. This kid Corey, you know, I'm gonna spoil this because I'm sure most seen it. It's been on HBO Max. It was a big thing. Some people really like this movie, and I don't know why. But anyway, so we're going to talk spoilers going forward. So Halloween Ends. None of the main characters are even on the cover or the back of the box, because in my opinion, Corey was the main character of this movie, and it pretty much all revolved around him. I understand kind of what they did and what they were going for, but I don't think it needed to be so front and center like they did. Like, it could have been like the B plot, but they made it the A plot, and they made Michael the B plot of this movie, which I think was a very big mistake, because people come to see these Halloween movies to see Michael and Laurie duke it out, face off, and that's the movie. That's the Halloween franchise, and that's not really what we got here. You know, Laurie had some moments in this. Just rewatching this for this review, you know, and I watched this so this is my third time watching this, and it doesn't get better. It really doesn't. I remember looking at John in the theater, because we went to see this in theaters together, and we looked over maybe like half hour, 40 minutes in, and we were like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is this movie? And it really didn't land for us, because I can definitely speak for John. He didn't like this movie. He doesn't want to own it. He hates it. I'm a little bit more forgiving. I wanted it in the collection. You know, I wanted to complete the collection, and I'll go back to it maybe next year or the year after to try it again, and I'll probably be disappointed again. Just really, the gist of the plot is this kid Corey, who's like the town outcast because he got blamed for murdering this kid, which was a complete accident. It wasn't his fault, and he was babysitting. The whole town kind of turned their back on him. He's the freak. Everyone's, oh, that's the kid that killed the kid. But he didn't do jail time or any of that. So that kind of weighs on him, and he's just... He didn't have a big social life, so he's the weirdo, or later in the movie, the psychopath. He basically has a run-in with Michael. So now, this movie, I believe, is 4 years after the events of Kills. So now Michael has been living in a storm drain, okay? And it even seems that he's just living, it's just this crack in the wall, because when Corey ends up in the storm drain, he reaches out through this crack, which I also thought was insane, because Why would you be in this crevice? I don't know, maybe he was hiding because somebody was coming into his lair or whatever it was. But come on, why is he living in the storm drain? You know, it was just like, I think it was Halloween 5 when he lived in the shack on the river for a year. Doesn't change his clothes, doesn't change his... I understand he's not a well-adjusted human, but come on. 4 years? Okay, whatever. So he's very weak, he doesn't have any power, and he needs to start killing again to get his inner power back, you know, whatever the hell, his aura, whatever the hell you want to call it.
His mojo.
So Corey kind of, he has a run-in with them. Michael sees in Corey's eyes that they're kind of the same. He's the outcast, he's in pain, he's got some demons inside him. Somehow Michael sees it in his eyes, lets him go, and then Corey decides to befriend him, and there's a good 30 minutes where they're having some father-son moments and they're bonding.
No, I have a lot of catching up to do with my dad.
Good bro, son.
They're hanging out together. I think at one point Michael rode on the back of the motorcycle with them to go do some murders through the town, and it's just, you know, it's just a very messy movie. A very messy plot, really, because it was silly. It's stupid. You know, who cares about this kid Corey? We came to see Halloween end for Michael and or Laurie, and I guess we got it at the end of the movie, but still, it was just very unsatisfying. And this whole Corey thing, they really, really bet the farm on this Corey thing, and I just don't think it landed the way they wanted it to. Maybe some people really enjoyed it. Maybe I'm missing something. So Corey is kind of becoming like Michael's Padawan learner or something like that. He's wearing the same jumpsuit. He's got the mask that he wrestled Michael for, and he got the mask, so that was just silly also. And now he's doing his own murders, and he's killing the band crew that has been tormenting him for the past few years, because everyone who's in the marching band is usually like the tough jocks that pick on everybody. Also, that was a weird choice. Laurie and Michael really take a backseat to this movie, but Laurie sees something in Corey's eyes, so she saw the same thing that Michael saw, so maybe the three of them, they're connected somehow where they can see in each other's eyes and just know something. Again, we're playing with, they're playing real fast and loose with the rules here. So Laurie, in the beginning, actually set up her granddaughter Allison with Corey, and now she kind of sees that he's a bit of a weirdo, a bit of a psychopath, you know. She doesn't know that he's hanging out with Michael Myers, but she knows there's something's not wrong with him. He's going down a dark path, as she says, and she tries to get them to split up, and Corey goes to, I guess his plan was to kill Laurie, but ends up getting caught by Laurie, and he ends up killing himself, but right before Allison walks in the door and makes it look like that Laurie killed Michael. But Allison didn't say, hey, why is he dressed like Michael Myers? Why is this mask here? Why is there a knife here? So I guess Allison just didn't question the fact that her boyfriend is basically Michael Myers. Again, that's another bit of a plot hole, but which gets resolved pretty quickly after that, because the real Michael finally has enough power, and he comes back to show Corey how to do it. He ends up killing Corey, putting the mask back on, and then the last 10 minutes of the movie, we get what the entire movie should have been, the showdown between Michael and Laurie. Which I also want to say was also extremely underwhelming. You know, we had all this build-up, we had to sit through this entire movie, and you give us a very mediocre 10 minutes and like an even less satisfying battle. Like, it was all in the kitchen. There was not even room-to-room stuff. Very basic, very, very easy for Laurie. You know, Michael was weak, he was wounded, he was tired, so I guess Laurie had the upper hand. You know, she was fresh, she had no injuries, but still, you know, she really took down Michael pretty quickly, and then she had a bit of a struggle. Allison comes in and says, oh, okay, I forgive you for everything, and then helps Laurie kill Michael. They kill him together. Laurie holds his hand. But wait, it's not over. So Laurie does a bit of there's some dialogue over it, and she's talking about how she's not scared of him anymore, and she thought he was a monster, but he's just a man. So she slits all his wrists, his neck, and makes sure he bleeds out and makes sure he's dead. But however, that's still not enough. They have to tie him to the roof of the car, parade him through the town, and throw him in the crusher in the auto salvage yard, which I don't disagree with. You know, I mean, I guess tying him to the roof, you don't want him in the car, whatever, you know, that's fine. That's not the worst thing. But, you know, they could have maybe skipped how they got there scene. And, you know, throwing him in the crusher and it just annihilates the body, which is fine because I agree with that, you know. We don't want to chance it because he's came back a few times. However, just how we got there, a bit silly. And also one thing I wanted to add, this I'm going to go in reverse a little bit. There's maybe a quarter of the way into the movie, maybe half hour, 25 minutes in, there was a bunch of scenes from the 78, 2018, and Kills. And I think they just peppered those in there because they put better movies in their movie to make it better. You know, so I guess that was their thing, just to kind of catch you up on things. I think this was an extreme disappointment in my opinion. I was really looking forward to seeing this. We went out to the theaters. We sprung for the Dolby Atmos theater where they deliver the food to you at AMC.
We make movies better.
And you know, that was a real nice night out and just not a great movie. And a very disappointing end to this trilogy, which I really had high hopes for this because 2018 and Kills was fantastic and they just really dropped the ball in my opinion on this one. So overall, as far as the film goes, I would give this a 4 out of 10. I really had a tough time watching this one the first time. I watched it the second time, like in passing, you know, I was playing on my phone and just I wanted to see what the HBO stream looked like, so, or actually no, I think it was on Peacock, I don't remember. But anyway, so I watched it on the stream and you know, I just wasn't paying full attention to it. I just wanted to see if I was missing something or if it got better the second time, and it didn't. And even the third time, it did not get better. But let's talk about Universal's 4K release. This is the Walmart exclusive slipcover. I went for this one because I kind of like this one the best because it opens up. Now, I thought this was pretty cool. So this is kind of like the pattern that they were going with 2018 and Kills. They had like the side shot of the mask. So we got Laurie on there. They're staring at each other. Then we got Michael and Laurie on the cover. And then once you slide this off, we have a bit of a different picture. I guess it's the same as the inside of that, but it's pretty cool because we have two different ones, and I like when the slipcover is a different picture than the actual cover art on the case. The backs are the same, however. Once we pop this bad boy open, you have your digital code, which I already took out. Halloween Ends on Blu-ray, and your Halloween Ends on 4K, which has disc art where the Blu-ray does not. So we also appreciate some disc art around here. 4K disc visual quality, it has Dolby Vision, it has Dolby Atmos. Now, seeing in the theaters looked fine, you know, new movie, didn't think anything of it. It was, you know, just what I expected to see, what we expect to see, what we've come to expect to see with new technology, new cameras. The stream, not great, you know, streams tend to be a little rough around the edges sometimes, you know, with especially audio drops here and there, you know, just the compression, so you're not going to get disc quality out of a stream. Now, the disc, Dolby Vision, 12-bit, and Dolby Atmos. You know, I wasn't impressed with this disc if I'm being completely honest. I think 2018 and Kills are far better visually than this. And not that it looked bad, but it just looked a little fuzzy, a bit blurry on scene. Not like extremely blurry, but just where I think it could have been better. I've seen better. Maybe it was just the way it was designed, the way it was shot. It's not a bad made movie. Like I think all the shots are fine, but I just think the resolution or something they did with this disc is not perfect, where I expected it to be perfect because it's a new studio release. It's a 4K disc with Dolby Vision. Those tend to be pretty fantastic. And this one is just good to okay to good. You know, it's not bad, but it's not great. You know, it's not referenced. It's just the middle of the road. It's what you expect to see. It's probably just a little bit better than the stream would be, you know, and it's a bit of a disappointment in my opinion. Now, again, it has Dolby Vision, so those darker scenes, yes, it cleans them up a bit, you know, it gets rid of some of that gray and some of that, you know, when you watch stuff on stream, it's like, it kind of gets a little blown out almost. It can't handle those deep, dark blacks. Where the Dolby Vision, it cleans that up, it helps that. But that's, I guess, I mean, that's really the highlight of 4Ks is HDR. But I just expected some of the other scenes to look better. Even just like close-ups on the people. I think, like, the skin tones, they looked fine. However, I just don't think the resolution was quite there for a 4K disc. That's just me, that's just what I saw. Again, I'm reviewing on an LG CX OLED with a Panasonic UB820 4K player, so I have some pretty good equipment. I just didn't think this one looked visually stunning how I expected it to look. I thought it was going to look a lot better than the streams, and just a little bit better in my opinion. But the one shining star that this does have is the Dolby Atmos track. Now, the Atmos track in this movie is actually very, very good. I think it has a fantastic Atmos track. A lot of action coming through those rear speakers. The front's screaming in your face, just things going around the room. I think all the work went into the Atmos track here. And that's fine. You know, again, visually it didn't look terrible, it didn't look like gross or unwatchable. I just expected a little bit more out of the visual. But audio, it impressed me with the audio. I would give this a 4.5 out of 5 for the audio track. Visuals, I'm gonna say about a 3 out of 5. You know, just a good to okay. You know, it passes, it's good enough, but it could have been better. So overall, I think it's a pretty good 4K disc. You know, that audio really brings it up a notch. Now, as far as bonus features go, we have some deleted and extended scenes. You know, they're real happy about that. They're real proud of that. They put that right on front and center on the cover, which I think Halloween Kills had the extended edition or something like that also. So, you know, whatever. I watched some of them, and I think they got cut for good reason. We weren't missing anything. Well, again, just the movie itself was just a little rough around the edges for me anyway. But there is actually another good amount of bonus features, and it's on the 4K disc also, so keep that in mind. There's some featurettes with Jamie Lee and the guy who plays Michael, James J. Courtney. He's got some in there, and you can go behind the scenes with the original Final Girl, Jamie Lee Curtis, and filmmakers to celebrate the making of the greatest horror franchise ever made. Again, they're playing a little fast and loose with that because I'm kind of embarrassed that this has the Halloween name on it. No Place Like Haddonfield, Final Girl, Ending Halloween, and more. So, you know, a little vague with that, but I dived into them. They're like tiny little documentary, I guess featurettes we would call them, some interviews, and that's really about it. You know, nothing crazy. But again, I'm not really here for the special features. I prefer a good movie, which this was not. But if you guys want to add this to your collection, we will put our Amazon affiliate link down in the description. Buying from that greatly helps out the channel, and we greatly appreciate it. And it's also no extra cost to you. But if you guys enjoyed this review, which I didn't because I didn't have a great time watching this one, but if you guys liked the review, did I save you a few bucks, or are you still gonna pick up it anyway like I did? Let me know down in the comments. But if you like this review, please hit the like button and consider subscribing, because that is the best way to help the channel out. But until next time, guys, have a great day.